If for some reason you'd like to hear not only Donald Trump speak, but why not a bit of Bill O'Reilly as well? Well, they've got something for you. Starting in December, Bill O'Reilly and former President Trump will engage in a series of live conversations at large arenas beginning in Florida and Texas. Bill will interrogate the president about interrogate. Come on. Anyway, Bill will interrogate the president about exactly what happened during the 4 years of his administration. There will be no ground rules, no restrictions, and it will be the first event of its kind. Now, all of this is direct from Bill O'Reilly's website, which is why it sounds like the ramblings of a madman. No ground rules, no restrictions on a conversation with Donald Trump. I can think of some natural restrictions that come from talking to Donald Trump. But Anna, how much would you pay to hear those two speak to a crowd of people?
I would pay to avoid it. I wouldn't pay to listen to it. You'd literally have to pay me, like, to be honest, which likely that will be the case if we end up covering it on the show. I'm making money, at least I'm working. But I would never spend my hard-earned cash on watching that crap show.
Yeah, do the MAGA people want to hear Bill O'Reilly? I mean, I guess they used to watch Fox when O'Reilly was on. Maybe they still have some like positive feelings towards him, but like, do we really believe that Bill O'Reilly is like a big fan of Donald Trump? Like, Bill O'Reilly's awful, that certainly helps, but I feel like Bill O'Reilly's, it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't matter. You think any of these people like Donald Trump? None of them like Donald Trump. All of them are pandering to Trump's base. And what I'm actually more curious about is, Donald Trump recently gave a speech in North Carolina, and I watched it over the weekend. I was curious to see how he performed, if there was any difference in the way that he carries out these speeches, and it was a nightmare. I mean, and not the typical nightmare that we like to dunk on. I mean that his cognitive function is clearly suffering. I mean, stimulants can keep you going for so long until you're finally at an age and you finally built up a tolerance where it's not as effective anymore. I'm alleging that he takes stimulants. It's an allegation, meaning that this is speculation. Just want to put that out there in case there's any attempts at suing me. But he really had a difficult time keeping it together. It wasn't the typical rowdy, crazy Trump speech that people love to tune into. So I'm curious to see how it all plays out, because if he plans on running in 2024, I think that he is taking for granted how much 4 years can impact his age and his cognitive abilities, especially when he's already like in his mid-70s.
Yeah, I would certainly worry about losing energy. If it makes him crazier, that might help him. It might be a natural advantage. Now, really fast, I want to give you a little bit more about this. Here's what Donald Trump had to say about the event. These will be wonderful but hard-hitting sessions where we'll talk about the real problems happening in the US. Those that the fake news media never mention. I love the idea they're hard-hitting sessions, yes. Donald Trump has signed on for a national tour of very difficult questions from Bill O'Reilly. That's definitely what they both are gonna do. But he did say they're gonna focus on the real problems happening in the US, which is good. I would love to see the right turn away from the Mr. Potato Head, the Dr. Seuss and all that. So what are the real problems? He says, I will be focusing on greatness for our country, something seldom discussed in political dialogue. If we don't make our country great again, we will soon no longer have a country. Oh, those specific problems. Those are some of the most important economic problems facing the working American. There's not enough greatness anyway. And Bill O'Reilly goes on to say, my job as a historian and journalist. Come on, buddy. Come on, maybe historian. Yeah, I mean, you write those books, they're not history books, but they're history-ish. But journalists, come on, Bill O'Reilly. He says, is to get important things on the record in a fact-based way. These conversations with the 45th president will not be boring. You're setting the bar high there. So high.
Oftentimes when we do stories about criminals who get caught, it's usually because the criminal gets too greedy and thinks that they're invincible and just keeps going. And I just feel like Bill O'Reilly shouldn't get too greedy. Like, he's already made a fortune off of his conservative grift. He somehow skirted some very serious sexual assault charges despite the various female employees at Fox News who had made some serious allegations against him regarding sexual misconduct. He got away easy. So, Bill, what is the obsession with remaining in the limelight? Just take your winnings and go home. But he can't help himself. Much like other criminals, he got greedy. And so he wants to be out there, he wants to be in front of people, and he wants to grift off of Donald Trump's popularity with the right-wing base. I guess have at it, but it's just more of the same, John. To be honest with you, I'm bored with all of this stuff. I'm bored with all of it. There's nothing new to get from it.
Well, I will just say, just because I haven't seen Bill O'Reilly in the news recently, he used to be like, he was the biggest guy. Like he was the Tucker Carlson or whatever. Like that B-roll we're showing you, I don't think any of those photos are newer than like 4 or 5 years ago. Like Bill O'Reilly is a shell of a man. What are you doing, man? Just stay at home and watch World War II documentaries or whatever. Like he's incredibly wealthy. What is he doing with the money? Why does, like I get it. It's the thing I would say about any billionaire. I don't understand what they need more money for. But with him, I don't even know what capacity he has to use the additional money. I guess he's just used to mattering and he'd like to feel like he matters again. But he's not going to, man. You're gonna look ridiculous. Donald Trump is probably gonna make fun of you on stage. Like if you ever say anything bad about him, he's gonna throw you under the bus. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.